Good day, everyone. I'm going to show you how to do mail merge letters, and this is assignment 8, part 2. First of all, in order to begin the assignment, you have to get set up in advance to do it. And step 1 of the setup is go to your word processing assignments and open and print out your cruise ship mail merge directions. Now, it's important that you print out those mail merge directions because the letter that you need to type is given in the directions. So you'll need to have that printed copy in order to type the letter that will follow. Okay, so let's assume you've opened and printed out those directions. The next step is open and save the Excel database to your desktop. Now, the Excel database will be located again in your word processing unit assignments, and it's under cruise ship database for PC users. Now make sure when you save it, you know where you saved it. I suggest the desktop because it's easy and you should know where that is. Okay, the next step is you will then open a new blank word processing document and click on the no spacing rule. This is an essential part of mail merge. If you don't do that, you will have a major error. So make certain that you click on the no spacing rule. All right, now I'm going to assume at this point now that you have gone to your Microsoft Word and opened up a new blank document. Now this is where the actual video is going to take place, showing you the directions. Okay, so I'm going to close this out here, and I'm done with that, so I can get rid of that. There we go. Now you are to do the mail merge assignment. Now if you've gone through the previous steps, you are now set up. However, I want to point out to you right now, I'm looking for disaster unless I remember to click on this no spacing rule. So I'm going to click on the no spacing rule there. Okay, that's an essential step. It has to be done first. Now we are all set up. We've got a blank document. We've clicked on the no spacing rule, and now we can begin our mail merge. We do that by clicking on Mailings, coming over to Start Mail Merge, click on the down arrow and choose Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. So I'll click on that. Now, all we have to do is follow this panel. It has step 1 of 6, and so we're on step 1 of 6 steps. The first thing says is what type of document you want to work on, letters, envelopes, or whatever. Well, we're working on a letter. Now, I want you to assume that you are working for a cruise ship company. There are 2,000 passengers that are booked to cruise, and you have to send a letter to each and every one of them, a personalized letter, letting them know about their reservation and what cabin number they've been assigned to. Obviously, you wouldn't want to type the letter 2,000 times, so what we're going to do is type the letter once, and then we're going to insert codes to tell it what we want to do for the information for each individual passenger, and then we'll merge them together and we'll have 2,000 letters done in an instant. So let's begin by selecting we want a letter. Now let's come down to where it says at the bottom here, step 1 of 6, it says start your document. So click start the document. Now it says, how do you want to set up your letters? Do you want to use the current document? Yes, that's the blank one right here. Now, a company might actually have an existing form letter, and you could open the existing form letter. But for us, we're going to type out a new letter. Okay? So make sure you have used the current document selected. Come down to the bottom, and it says step 2. It says select the recipients. So click select the recipients. Now, this seems a little silly because you're selecting the recipients of the letter before you've even typed it, but we'll keep it happy. We'll just follow their directions step by step and you won't get into trouble. So it says, do you want to use an existing list of, do you have an existing list of a database with people's names and information? Yes, we do. So we're going to use an existing one. So we come down to the word browse, click on browse. Now I asked you to save yours to the desktop so you could find it, and I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go to my desktop. I saved it in a file folder called Assignment 8 Files. And here we go. The cruise ship database for PC users. That's the one that you just previously saved to your desktop. So let's click Open. And when it comes up, it will give you this screen. And all you have to do is just accept it. Trust me, just click the OK button. We do want that table. So click OK. Now it's showing you. Here is the data that's in the database. Now, for our purposes, we're only going to do 3 clients. In a real world, you know, if they had 2,000 people on the ship, they'd have 2,000 people in the database. But we're keeping it simple. Notice that it has a field for the customer's name, the city, state, what cabin number they're assigned to, reservation number, all that, all the information we need to put into the mail merge letter is in the database. So we're just going to accept that and click OK. Now, as we move down, it says, next, write your letter. So click Write Your Letter. Step 3 of 6, click on Write Your Letter. Now, at this point, you would type in the letter that I gave you in the directions for Assignment 8. Assignment 8 is the directions I asked you to print out, and in that printout is the letter for you to copy. Now, to save time for this demonstration, I am just going to right-click. I've already typed it. I'm just going to paste it in. There it is. Okay, just to save time. But you, of course, would have to type out this letter. Now, I do want to show you one thing you have to put in the letter. If you click up beside the name of the company here, you're supposed to put in a logo, a company logo of a cruise ship. And we will find a picture of a ship that we want to use. Now, we want to insert clip art. So let's go up to the Insert tab and click on Insert. Now, you'll notice in Office 2013, the clip art button is missing. They've replaced it with this Online Pictures. Don't know why, but that's what they did. So click on Online Pictures. Now when it comes up, takes a second for it to come up. Now here we have Office clip art. So type in cruise ship and click the search button. Now, I don't really care which one you use as long as it's a cruise ship. I'm going to use the second one here just because it's easy. If you don't have the same clip art I have, just use something that would look nice for a company logo. I'm going to double click on it. Click, click. Now notice when it comes in, it jumps the picture. It causes the text to jump out of place. That's no good. Remember, I told you earlier when you inserted pictures that you always must format those pictures so that it is in front of text. Now, with it highlighted, come up to the wrap position. The word wrap position. Click on that and choose in front of text. Now when you do that, yeah, I know it's in front of the text, but it allows you to move it wherever you want quite easily. Now let's go to the upper left-hand corner, or right, doesn't matter, any one of the 4 corners, and drag them down so you get a little picture of a ship and drag it up here to the top. Now remember, logos are just small things. I don't want some great big picture of a ship, just a small company logo. Okay, at this point, we are now ready. The letter's all typed and ready to go. I need you to click a double space, click a double, after the date, January, press enter a couple of times, 1, 2. Okay, now what we want to do, this is the letter that's going out to all the passengers on the ship. And the letter says, we're pleased to inform you that your request for cabin number on has been approved. Doesn't make sense. What it is this is the form letter that's going to everybody, but what we need to do is to insert the cabin number here. And your reservation number, we need to insert the reservation number here, so that when these are printed out, and insert, of course, the name and address up here, when we do that, insert the codes for it, then we will get the individual letters. But right now, this is called the form letter, and I'm assuming you've got it all typed out and ready to go. So let's do this. At this point, we're on step 4. It says here, we have our letter done. Now what we have to do is insert the codes, the passenger codes. unfortunately, whoever wrote the software chose to label the button we use as More Items. I'm moving my mouse here. If I was typing it, I'd call it the Insert Code buttons, but they didn't. They call it More Items, so let's click on it. By the way, you have to have your cursor under the word January, double space below it. Now you click where it says More Items, and we will then click on the Name field. So click Insert and click Close. Now the name is on the address on the first line is the name. Press the Enter key to get to the next line. Now we have to go back to More Items, and on the second line of the address we want the street. So we'll click Street, Insert, Close. Press the Enter key, go back to More Items, and we want the city. So click City, Insert, Close. Now this is very important. At this point we have to insert a comma after the city. After the city, press comma and a space. After you've done that, now you can go More Items and insert the state. Now, and close. Now what's critical here is you will lose a lot of points on your assignment and on your exam if you forget to put the comma and the space between the city and the state. The reason for that is the post office will only accept bulk mailings, huge mailings like this, 2,000 letters, as long as they can be processed by the scanning equipment. If you do not put a space, a comma and a space between city and state, it runs together both those items. So example, Boston, Mass would read on the scanner BOSTONMA. Well, there is no such thing as that. It can't tell which is the city, which is the state. The post office will refuse to accept your mass mailing. You've got 2,000 letters all printed, stuffed in envelopes, and now with stamps on them, now you can't mail them. So that's a critical thing. Remember that. Okay, now the next step, let's go down to where it says Dear. I'm going to put my cursor after the R in Dear and press a space bar. Go back, More Items, and I want to insert the client's name there. Insert, Close. Now notice that I have a space after the word Dear, and the colon is at the end. So when you insert these codes, it's essential that you pay attention to what you're doing. You don't want them to run together. Okay, now it says here, we are pleased to inform you the request for cabin number. Now click after after the word number, cabin number, press the space bar. Now go over to More Items and insert the cabin number. We'll go there. Click Insert, Close. Now notice that I have a space before the cabin number and a space after the cabin number. If you don't put a space before and after, your data will run together and it will be an error on your mail merge. Every one of the 2,000 letters would be wrong. Okay, so we're pleased to inform you request a cabin number, let's say 250, on. Now we need to put what date they're departing on. So click after the word on, go back, More Items, and we'll insert the date they're leaving. Insert, Close, and make sure you put a space after the date. Has been approved. If you have any questions concerning your reservation, I'm on this second line of it now. I want to go to More Items, and I want to insert the reservation number there. Insert, Close, and I'll put a space after that. Okay, at this point we have inserted all the information that I want you to insert. Now you would never do this, but I'm going to make that information appear in red. The only reason for that is just for a classroom purpose, to show you how the mail merge works. Once again, you would never do this in real life. It would be silly to show up everything, this information in red. Give me just a second to continue to code these things in red. There it is. Once again, do not code yours in red. I'm only doing it so you can see how the mail merge works. All right, at this point, it's essential that you read it over absolutely carefully. If you have any mistakes, now's the time to fix them. Once you merge them, all 2,000 letters will have the error in it. So be certain that it's carefully proofread. Okay? Proofread it by eye, proofread it through your proofreading tools as well. All right, so now in step 4 it says preview your letter. So I'll click preview your letter. Now watch what happens. When I click preview, it shows the first customer. Notice it automatically put his name and address. Dear Mr. Joe Smith, your cabin number 256 and your reservation and all that stuff and the date. All that stuff is in there. Now, what's important here is this, that's only showing you the first letter. It's so you can look at it and see that it is correct. If it is correct, we can continue. Let's go to step 5 of 6. This is where it's tricky. It says complete the merge. Now when we click complete the merge, it doesn't complete it. We have to click it anyway. Click complete the merge. Now that brings us to step 6. Now in order to complete the merge, you have to come to the top where it says mail merge, complete the merge. You have to click on where it says edit individual letters. Don't ask me why they did it that way. If I was writing the software, I'd simply label it merge the letters now. But, you know, we got to deal with it. So click on edit the individual letters. And now it asks you, do you want to merge them together into a new document? Yes, we do. So we click OK. Now, it doesn't look like anything has happened, but now, if we scroll down, you'll see there's the first letter to Mr. Joe Smith, cabin number 256. The next letter, Allison Snow, cabin 498. The next letter, Joe Carson, 346. And so each individual personalized letter has been prepared. Now you don't have to do this, but I'm going to make it in a small size. So now you can see that I do in fact have 3 letters. Now here's where people make a big mistake. When they save this and submit it for their assignment 8, they don't save the completed merge of all 3 letters. You know, they'll wind up saving the form letter, and when I open it up, I get one blank letter. I mean, it's a letter to nobody. And you must send me the completed merge, which is all 3 documents, or in the real business, it'd be all 3,000 letters. So let's do this. Let's go File, Save As, and save it again wherever you're saving your work, your assignment. Save it in that place. I'm saving mine on the desktop, and mine is in a folder called Assignment 8. And I'm going to call this, as you should, I'm going to call this Cruise Ship Mail Merge. 3 letters. And put your name. I'll put R. Campbell. Now it's important that you save it that way so you know which one you're sending me when you send your assignment 8. Send me the one that says Cruise Ship Mail Merge 3 letters. Or however you save it, that's up to you. As long as you know that you're sending me the completed document with all 3 letters. Save, and that, my friends, is all there is to mail merge. I do want to remind you, that your word processing exam will be just like this. It's a mail merge for your word processing exam. So if you know how to do it now, you should do very well on the word processing exam. So good luck. If you have any problems or questions, do get back to me. Thank you.